What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, once again, Jeff Teague and the Club 520 podcast are making headlines. They leading in controversy, right? And first of all, let me sit and show y'all my Dragon Ball Z hat with the sayings on it. I'm proud of my hat, y'all. But anyway, they were talking about Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson went on Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson's podcast, and they were talking about Asia and Josh were talking about a game of one-on-one between them. Who would win? And Asia looking like, yo, she'll win. Josh Hart looking at her like, nah. Asia like, don't piss me off. And he looking at her like, you ain't winning that game. So Jeff Teague and his crew, they were talking about the outcome of the game. So Jeff Teague and also his boy B Hen agreed when they like, yo, Asia Wilson is not beating anybody in the NBA. She's not beating anybody in the G League. She's not beating anybody in the men's college basketball game, right? And let me just say this. First of all, this is not a woman bashing channel. This is not a channel for incels to get their rocks off. You're not going to get me on here saying women ain't shit and I'm not doing that. But what I will do is I will make an assessment based in reality. You understand what I'm saying? I love Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson is a phenomenal basketball player. To me, the best player in the WNBA. Extremely skilled, dominant player. In her league. And she found it in Frog here too. I just wanted to throw that in there, right? Attractive woman for sure. But the men's game and the women's game, two different games, man. Two different games. Now, while the women we've seen women, the skill set of the women advance in ways we probably never thought we would see before. Many thought, you got sharpshooters shooting from 30, like Caitlin Clark and all that type of stuff, right? And young lady I put up on my, what is her last name, McMiller or something like that. She's in college playing. The way she dribbling is crazy. Her skill set like a Kyrie Irving, for real. But with that being said, the men are faster, stronger, way more athletic. Like, no. Asia is a 6'4" center. She's a post player. She does not play above the rim. Man, if she were to play against a man, it would be unfair. Asia probably like 190 pounds. The average NBA player would probably benches like 225. They're going to be pushing Asia out the way. I'm talking about dunking over her. They're going to be, it's going to be unfair how more physically dominant they are than her. So it would look crazy. Now, she's a 6'4" post player. Charles Barkley was a 6'4" post player. He was way more athletic, way stronger, okay? Way more athletic. The round mound of rebound was a dominant force. He won a league MVP in the NBA at 6'4", he playing power forward, playing the 4. He wasn't a center, but he was a 4, playing the power forward position. And Asia she don't have that same type of athleticism nor strength. And it would be crazy to think so. And so if she's 6'4", I haven't seen proof that Asia can play the guard position. You know what I mean? Because most guards in the NBA are 6'4". Point guards, 2 guards, they 6'4". She hasn't shown me that she can play at the guard spot. And even if she could, these guys are going to be faster than her. They're not going to let her be able to get a shot off a lot of times because they are so much more athletic. She'll probably get some shots off, but a lot of times they're going to be able to contest her shots very well and block them a lot of times. Their lateral quickness is better. Cut her off from going to the basket. Again, they're supremely athletic, so they can jump very, very, very high to block these shots. So it's just a different game. And I heard Serena Williams say this when they asked her about because she played against men in tennis. And she acknowledged, this is just two different games, man. The men are stronger, faster, more athletic. It's a complete difference, man. And that's the situation with Asia Wilson and in the NBA. It would just be it's apples and oranges. Now, in her league with the girls, she would be outstanding. But in the NBA, believe it or not, and I'm not even trying to be disrespectful when I say this, she would have a hard time with Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Seriously, Giannis's brother, Thanasis, she would have a hard time with him. Look how physical, how strong Thanasis is. Thanasis can play, too. He's just not. NBA, man, is just the talent gaps in the NBA are incredible. A dude could be averaging 40 in high school. He could be averaging 22 in college and get to the NBA and look like, damn, he is the 13th man on the bench. You know what I'm saying? He can look like he's the 12th man on the bench. Having an illustrious college career, outstanding high school career, and get lost in the sauce. We've seen McDonald's All-Americans go to college, be star players, be the leading scorers on their teams, and they struggle to be role players in the NBA. Just a different game. And so, yeah, like Thanasis is super strong. He athletic. You know, she wouldn't be able to beat him, being real with y'all. She wouldn't be able to beat him. And it's not because, oh, I hate women or anything like that. It's just the game is just two different things. Now, if you put her in the women's league, whether it's overseas, anywhere, she's smoking them. She's smoking them easily. Because she's not hindered by the differences in physical makeup between the man and the woman. In the NBA, them physical differences and physical advantages are going to work in the men's favor. And again, the men play an above the rim game, and Asia is not an above the rim player. So it would be hard for her to contend, to compete in that type of level. You know what I mean? Like, even for real, no disrespect. When I look at dudes in the G League, them dudes can hoop, man. Them dudes can ball. Like, I didn't see dudes in the G League put up 45, 37, 38, 30. You feel me? Some dudes put up 26, 25. You look like, man, he could hoop. It's just that gap between them and the NBA players sometimes be so wide. It's like, yo, it's hard to do. It's hard to do, man. So, yeah, I think it's just a different game. And that's no disrespect to A'ja Wilson. Because, again, she's an outstanding player, the best player in the WNBA. And if she can't compete, none of them, Caitlin Clark, would never be able to compete in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? A lot of other, like, it's just, again, it's apples and oranges, the comparisons between the two. And I know how Jeff Teague delivered it, it was harsh to some. And they probably felt like he could have worded it a little differently, a little softer. But it is the truth. It's the truth. And again, based on what I just told y'all, it would be hard for her to go against the men and to get busy like she's getting busy in the WNBA. And that's fine. That's why we have the WNBA. So that the physical advantages are not extraordinarily, the physical advantages are not extraordinarily in favor of one person over the other. While, again, in any gender, while playing, there are going to be physical advantages. Playing within the women's game and the men's game. But men have different physical advantages than women in general. And that would just be crazy to watch. And if we were watching something like that, people would be like, yo, this is crazy. This is unfair. We got to do something to fix this. So that's why you have the WNBA for women, the NBA for men. And it's all good. It's all lovely, man. A'ja is still an outstanding basketball player. She's a dominant player. She is a force in her league. And she deserves all the accolades and the kudos that she gets. Because, again, I don't see nobody in the WNBA messing with her for real. And, you know, when you see her play in the women's game, you're like, yo, she's something special, man. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out, y'all. Peace.